My beloved child, listen closely, because what you are about to hear is not ordinary. Right now, somewhere in your life, there is a person carrying a weight you cannot see. They smile when you look at them, they speak as if everything is fine, but inside, something is quietly asking for relief. And the truth is, you are connected to that moment more than you realize. Don't skip this, because something huge is waiting for you. There is a truth about your presence, about your silence, your words, your energy, that has the power to shift more than just your own path. It touches others in ways you have never fully understood. This is not about blame. This is about awakening. Because sometimes, the distance between two hearts is not made of miles, but of unspoken truth. And what you are about to discover, will change how you see everything. Stay till the end. But there is something deeper you need to see. Not every burden is visible, and not every silence is empty. Sometimes, the quiet between two people is filled with words that were never spoken, feelings that waited too long, and truths that were almost revealed, but held back. And in that space, something begins to build. A longing to be understood. A quiet hope to be seen. A gentle wish that someone would finally notice. This is where your role becomes powerful. Because your awareness, your presence, even your smallest gesture can become a turning point. Not by force, not by pressure, but by truth. Don't skip this moment. There is a reason you are hearing this right now. A reason this message found you when it did. You are not here by accident. Something within you is being prepared, something that will allow you to recognize what others overlook. And when you see it clearly, you will understand what must be done next. Stay with this, because the next part will reveal what has been hidden all along. And now, a quiet realization begins to unfold. The truth you have been searching for is not far away. It has been sitting in your everyday moments, in the pauses between conversations, in the times you felt something was off but couldn't explain why. That feeling was not random. It was awareness trying to reach you. Sometimes, the reason someone feels overwhelmed is not because of what is happening around them, but because they feel unseen within it. And without even knowing, you may have felt that distance too, a gap that words never quite filled. But here is the shift. You don't need perfect words. You don't need a grand gesture. All it takes is one real moment. One moment where you choose to truly listen. One moment where you allow your presence to be genuine, not distracted. One moment where you let truth replace hesitation. Don't skip this, because this is where everything begins to change. There is a connection in your life that is waiting, not for perfection, but for honesty. And the second you step into that truth, something begins to soften, to open, to realign. You are closer than you think. Stay with this, because what comes next will show you how to recognize the exact moment everything shifts. And just when you think nothing is changing, everything begins to shift quietly. The moment does not arrive with noise or warning. It appears softly, in a glance, in a pause, in a sentence that feels different from all the others. This is the moment most people miss. They wait for something obvious, something loud, but the real turning point is subtle. It asks for your attention, your awareness, your willingness to stay present instead of pulling away. Don't skip this. Because when you recognize this moment, you begin to understand the truth you didn't see before. That connection is not built in grand displays, but in small, honest choices made at the right time. A gentle question. A sincere look. A few words spoken from the heart. These are the things that begin to lift what was once heavy, not instantly, but meaningfully. And here is what makes this powerful. The person you've been thinking about, the one you couldn't fully understand, is closer to opening up than ever before. But it depends on one thing. Whether you choose to notice, or let the moment pass again. Stay till the end, because the next part will reveal the one decision that changes everything. And here it is, the decision that changes everything. It is not complicated. It is not loud. But it carries a quiet power that most people overlook. You choose to show up, fully. Not halfway. Not distracted. Not guarded by old assumptions or past misunderstandings, but present, open, and real. Because the truth is, people don't open up when they feel judged, they open up when they feel safe. And safety is not created through perfect words, it is created through your energy, your patience, your willingness to stay when things feel uncertain. Don't skip this moment. Something huge is waiting for you on the other side of this choice. When you decide to truly be there, without rushing, without trying to fix everything, something begins to shift in the space between you. The tension softens. The distance shortens. The silence starts to speak. And suddenly, what once felt complicated becomes clear. You begin to see what they were never able to say, and they begin to feel what they were missing all along. This is where connection becomes real. Stay with this, because the next part will reveal the sign that tells you it's all starting to change. And then, the sign appears when you least expect it. It won't be dramatic. It won't announce itself. It will feel simple, almost easy to miss. A softer tone in their voice. A pause that lingers just a little longer. A moment where their guard lowers, even if only for a second. This is the sign. Don't skip this, because this is where everything begins to open. When someone who has been holding everything inside finally feels a space to breathe, even slightly, it means something has shifted. Not outside, but within. And that shift is powerful. It means your presence is being felt. It means your honesty is being received. It means the distance is no longer as strong as it once was. But here is what most people do next: they rush. They try to say too much, fix too much, understand everything all at once. And in doing so, they miss the quiet rhythm of trust that is just beginning to form. This moment doesn't need more words. It needs patience. It needs consistency. It needs you to stay exactly as you are, present, calm, and real. Because something huge is already unfolding, even if it's happening slowly. Stay till the end, because the final part will reveal what this connection was always meant to become. And now, the truth reveals what this was always meant to become. This connection was never meant to stay distant, unclear, or heavy. It was meant to awaken something within both of you, a deeper understanding, a quieter strength, a bond that is not built on pressure, but on presence. What once felt confusing now begins to make sense. Every missed moment, every silence, every feeling you couldn't explain, was leading to this point. A point where you no longer react without awareness, but respond with intention. Don't skip this. Because something huge has already begun, and you are part of it. The person you've been thinking about is not just going through something, they are moving through a phase that requires exactly what you are now becoming: steady, aware, and real. And as you continue to show up with that energy, something transforms. Not instantly. Not perfectly. But meaningfully. The connection becomes lighter. The conversations become real. The unspoken finally finds a voice. And in that space, both of you begin to breathe easier. This is what it was always meant to be. Not something forced, but something understood. And now, you see the truth you didn't see before. And finally, everything becomes clear in the quietest way. You realize this was never about fixing someone, and it was never about carrying a weight that isn't yours. It was about understanding the power of your presence, and how a single moment of truth can gently change everything. The person you've been thinking about, they didn't need perfection. They needed space. They needed calm. They needed someone who could see without forcing, and stay without pressure. You understand your role. Not to control the outcome, but to hold a space where honesty can exist. Don't skip this final truth. Because something huge has already happened within you. You are no longer reacting from confusion, you are responding with awareness. You are no longer missing the moment, you are living inside it. And when you carry this forward, every connection in your life begins to shift in a way that feels natural, peaceful, and real. This is the truth you were meant to discover. Not loud. Not overwhelming. But powerful enough to change everything quietly. And even now, there is one last layer waiting to be understood. It's easy to think the moment has passed, that everything important has already been said or felt. But the truth is, this is where the real depth begins. Because once awareness enters your life, you start to notice what others overlook: the subtle emotions, the hidden pauses, the quiet signals that reveal what words cannot. Don't skip this. Something huge is still unfolding, not outside, but within you. You begin to realize that your presence is not small. It carries meaning. It creates space. It allows others to feel a little more at ease, a little more seen. And that changes everything. The connection you once questioned, now feels different. Not because it became perfect, but because you see it clearly. There is no need to rush. No need to force. No need to fear losing what is meant to grow naturally. Because what is real does not need pressure to exist. And now, you stand in a place of quiet confidence, knowing that what you offer simply by being genuine is more powerful than anything you could have tried to control. Stay with this, because the final part will reveal the lasting impact of this truth in your life. And now, the final truth settles into your heart. What you discovered here was never just about one person. It was about you, becoming someone who brings calm instead of confusion, clarity instead of distance, and presence instead of absence. That is the lasting impact. Because when you carry this kind of awareness, you don't just change one connection, you transform every space you walk into. Don't skip this final moment. Something huge has already taken root within you. You begin to notice how people respond differently around you. Conversations feel lighter. Silences feel comfortable. And connections begin to form without effort. Not because you tried harder, but because you understood deeper. The person who once felt distant, now feels closer in a way that doesn't need constant words. There is a quiet understanding, a sense that something meaningful has shifted. And the most powerful part? You didn't force it. You simply became aware, and allowed truth to guide you. This is what stays with you. Long after this moment, long after this message, this quiet strength becomes a part of who you are. And from here on, everything you touch carries that same calm, that same clarity, that same truth. Something truly changed, and it began with you. And as this message comes to its quiet close, something within you remains. Not loud. Not overwhelming. But steady, clear, and real. You may not see every result immediately. You may not have all the answers today. But something has shifted in the way you see, the way you feel, the way you show up. And that changes everything. Because now, you understand that your presence is not accidental. Your awareness is not random. The timing of this moment is not without meaning. Don't forget this. In the days ahead, there will be small moments that feel familiar, a pause, a glance, a chance to respond differently than before. And in those moments, you will remember. You will choose calm over reaction. You will choose understanding over assumption. You will choose presence over distance. And quietly, without force, without pressure, things will continue to align in ways you once hoped for but couldn't explain. Something huge was never waiting far away. It was always waiting, for you to see clearly. And now, you do.